Hello. Yeah. Hey everyone. Yeah. Okay. Hey, it's me, Kaye Allen, and this is for our third anniversary grand Q&A. We usually do this once a year. Yeah. As you can see, I'm not at home right now. I'm actually in a hotel room. I just came back earlier from the park because I got tired from all the walking. Yeah, I go home tomorrow. Kind of sad, really. I always like staying here at Disneyland. Yeah. Anyway, so since I came in earlier, I thought, why not do the Q&A video right now before I take a nap or I don't know, watch more TV probably. Yeah. So should we get started? Yeah, I think we should. Okay, so here's the first question from exochansu365. What's your favorite fanfic that you've written? I'm personally in love. Sorry, I'm personally in love with Loss of Motion and Attraction, and have been since chapter 4 came out on Tumblr years ago. Was it years ago? It was probably a couple of years ago. Yeah. Also, what's your favorite fanfic in general? Okay. That's kind of a tough question. Which fanfic is my favorite that I've written? Because that's kind of like asking me what's my favorite book. Because it changes every other week. Or every time somebody asks me, I would probably give a different answer. But I think I would say my favorite fanfic that I've written is Tease. Why Tease? First, it's the longest, I believe, the longest one I've written. It took about 2 years to make, 2 years to write, sorry. Yeah, because Tease has so many things that I've had to incorporate, that I have to do research for. It really felt like I was actually writing a legit book. Also, I had a lot of rough times writing Tease, but at the same time, it was a really good experience. I've fallen in love with my characters, with Vladlin and Jimin from Tease as well, even Charity, even if, she drives me crazy half the time. Yeah. Yeah, to all my fellow writers, all your characters have minds of their own, right? Yeah. And okay, the next question was, what's your favorite fanfic in general? Again, this is like asking what's my favorite book. But right now, at the top of my head, I would say, cause in a sky full of stars, I saw you. I'm not sure if that's the right title, but it's a Taekook fanfic. It's actually a proposal. You know the movie The Proposal, right? Um, yeah, with Sandra Bullock. Yeah, Sandra Bullock. Yeah, it's actually a fanfic with Taekook in it as the pairing. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of Taekook fanfics recently. Um, yeah, that's probably one of my favorites because I've reread it a lot of times. I'm not sure why. It's very simple. You practically know the storyline, but there's something about the way Nini, the author, has written it that I really liked. Yeah, so probably right now I would say that fanfic. I would put a link down this video so that you guys can check it out if you're into that kinds of fanfics. Yeah. Yeah, you can also check my ficrecs. I have a ficrecs tag on Tumblr. So for all the fanfics that I really liked reading. There's also the very first fanfic that I've ever read, which was a Baekhyun fanfiction. I think it was entitled Into Your World. Yeah, it's on AFF. So yeah, again, I'll just put a link so that you guys can check it out. Okay, so next question. Sorry, am I rushing into this? Because like, I'm not really rushing into this, but let's try to get all the questions answers because there's plenty. Like before my family arrives, because I'm the only one here right now. Yeah, and I'm kind of sleepy. But yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm looking at the questions. I'm laughing because of one. Yeah, okay. Anyway, the next question is, can you tell us any secret or cool trivia about the characters or writing process for Crave and Tease? For Crave and Tease, originally they weren't supposed to be like related books, like a part one and a part two, right? Because they're in one storyline. I just thought about that, like one while I was, I don't know, studying, and then I just thought, why not make Tease a part two, a sequel to Crave? Because Crave wasn't supposed to be that long either. But it turned out that a lot of people were liking it while I was writing it, and it became longer than I had intended it to, until I had told myself that we have to end it here because it's going to be too long, and that's how Tease was born. And I thought, why not put another member in? So yeah, that's. I hope that's a cool trivia. Also, oh, since I said that it wasn't supposed to be that long, Crave had a different ending, which I already told in the blog. I already answered a question about that in the ask box. There was a different ending for Crave. So yeah, you can just scroll through my replies. I believe I've already answered that one. What else? The characters? Um, I can't think of anything really right now. I'll get back to it. I'll get back to you on that, okay? Let's move on to the next question for now. Okay, so next question. I adore your writing. I can't even express how much I love every piece you've written. Oh, thank you. I was wondering if you could give tips to someone trying to write but finding it really difficult. Like, I love writing and I have so many ideas, but I just can't put it onto paper. I don't know, but I need help. I love you though. Uh-huh. Again, I have a tag on Tumblr where I post my advice on and then writing tips as well. You can check that out. There's a tag for that, on writing tag on Tumblr. I guess my tip for you is to read a lot, because that's the only way you're going to learn how to start writing. That's how I learned how to write, is because I've read a lot of books. So you learn a lot about how authors form their stories, form their plots, how they create their characters, how they create these worlds that we love so much. Yeah, that's the best advice I can give you, is to read and read and read. Next is to practice. Even if it's only free writing, you don't have to write a single one shot every day. You can just write a scene or two. Just practice how to make people see what you're trying to say. How to create these worlds, how to create these characters. Yeah. So yeah, I know it's very difficult in the beginning. You have all these ideas in your head and you just can't put it into paper. I'm still having this problem every time. I have a lot of pending stories, but then you get so many ideas that you want to write a new one, but then somewhere in the middle you stop and wait, I haven't thought about this. So you have to go back, you have to put the story on hiatus. That's actually a habit that I'm trying to remove or trying to get over, because it's very difficult to start something and not be able to finish it. I don't want to disappoint any of my readers who have started reading it, so I'm really trying my best to start something and then finish it before starting a new one, even if there are a lot of ideas in my head. My advice for you, if you have so many ideas in your head, is just write it down. If you have a notes app, or if you have a notebook with you all the time, just write your ideas down so that you won't forget, and you can just come back to it another time. I've actually found that very helpful, especially when I'm writing so many when I'm writing a lot of long stories, chaptered fics. Sometimes I would scroll through my notes app and see some of the ideas that I've had before, and I would find something that fits and I would incorporate it to the story that I'm currently writing. So yeah, if you get an idea, it's not bad to, write something about it, maybe write a scene or two, so that it's just that you wouldn't forget it, so that you won't forget it. So yeah, if you get an idea, write it down. Don't let it don't let it stay in your head. Just, you're thinking that, oh, I'll probably remember it, because you won't. You will not remember it again. It's going to pop out and, fly away somewhere again. And well, you're lucky if it comes back to you, but I find it easier if you would just write it down. Yeah. Okay, so next question. Happy anniversary, Kay. I'm a big fan of your stories and I've been following you for nearly 2 years now, I think. Wow, 2 years. So you were here around 2015, probably the time Loma, Laws of Motion, was being created. Yeah. Anyways, my question for you is, how are you always so nice and sweet to everyone? Also, I'm not sure if you've ever announced it or maybe I had missed it, but when are you going to continue writing the Seven Deadly Sins series again? I'm obsessed with it. Thank you. I'm so glad you're liking the series. It's actually my top series, the most popular series on the blog, and my favorite one as well. As I've mentioned a while ago, that Tease is my favorite fanfic that I've written. How are you always so nice and sweet to everyone? Well, you have to be nice to everyone, right? That's like a golden rule. You have to be nice to everyone. I don't know. I'm nice to everyone. I don't know how to answer this question, but I'm glad you think that I am nice and sweet to everyone. I always want to be able to answer all your asks, even if it's after a long day of work, because I know how it feels like to be an admirer of something. Like, I'm a big bookworm, and whenever like I tweet my favorite authors and they reply, I would like freak out. I always like talking to my readers, because they actually have a lot of good ideas as well. And since I'm in the fandom, I'm in the BTS and EXO fandom, it's always good to have someone to fangirl with, especially now that I'm working. Like, I'm not with my college best friends anymore, who are actually the ones who got me into K-pop. So it's always nice to fangirl about stuff online with some of my readers. They're the only ones who understand being a fangirl and how I feel about, with these boys whom I actually listen to on a daily basis. Yeah. So yeah. Also, since everyone is nice and sweet to me, I know back. So it's only right that I be nice and sweet to everyone, right? Yes, about the Seven Deadly Sins. Do not worry, it is not discontinued. I will continue it. I'm still not sure of the time. I wanted to release the next book, which is, I'm not gonna tell you who it is. It's going to be a surprise. As always, you will know which member it is once I release a trailer before I post the prologue or the first chapter. I'm still not sure. I was hoping to have released it I was hoping to release it around June, but it's not yet ready. So hopefully somewhere in the middle of the year. Hopefully, because I still have some pending fix. Ice dancing, right? Our Christmas special. It's not anymore Christmas, it's springtime now. But yeah, I still have to finish that. Also, Made in the AM. I have to finish that as well. And there's one fic that I might discontinue. I think you know what it is, but yeah, I'm still thinking about it, since I'm having a hard time going back to my outline. I think I haven't thought it through well, so I have to go back to it again. And yeah, I think I've only discontinued a couple of fics on my blog. Yeah, there was Hereafter and Men in Love, I think. Yeah. So yes, I will let you know. Do not worry, the teasers will come. We all know, you all love the teasers, right? Yeah, so the teasers will come, and then we will all be obsessed with another member in the Dark and Wild series. Don't worry, I will not discontinue that one. Yeah. Okay, so next, this is from Duda. Yeah, Duda. Duda is actually one of my readers who've been here since like the beginning of time. So yeah, if you're watching right now, thank you so much for continuing to read on this blog, for being one of my friends on Tumblr, on even on we talk a lot on Cat Talk before, but right now I think I lost my account. I have to fix that again so that we can chat some more. So thank you, Duda. Okay, so her question is I want to ask you, Ani, about After All novel version and when you are going to publish your book. I can't wait to have your books in my hands. Love you, Ani, fighting, and congratulations on your third anniversary. Thank you. Yes, I actually said that I would be rewriting After All. So if you guys don't remember, for all those new followers or who have followed me 2015 forward, After All is one of my first fix on the blog that really got a lot of attention. I think it's the first that really got me into writing into for this fandom. After All is a 7-part fic featuring Jungkook and Sarah, who is the OC, the original character. So yeah, it's actually connected to two one shots, which is Prince Charming and Love is Easy. So Prince Charming, Love is Easy, and then After All. After All is a heavy drama. Yeah. So I'm planning on making a novel version for that, just the way I did with Loss of Motion and um, Crave. Speaking of Loss of Motion, you all know that I have started unpublishing it from my writing site simply because I will be rewriting it again. So yeah, after I posted it on Swoon Reads, it didn't get chosen, unfortunately. I've decided to take in the comments that I received from there and rewrite it with the new corrections and all. So yeah, so I will be unpublishing it on Tumblr soon. So if you wanna still read it, so you better read it now before I take it down. Well, it's only going to be temporary. I will post it back up again. For Crave, well, it's gonna be, Crave's gonna stay there. And yes, After All. So After All is actually my top priority this year. So yeah, hopefully I get it done by the end of the year. Still not sure yet since I have a lot of pending fix. So yeah, hopefully I do get After All novel version up soon. When are you going to publish your book? I don't know yet. Yeah, I've been submitting here and there, but you just have to, I guess, try your luck. Yeah. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Well, I have all the time in the world. I always think that we should take our time. I should take my time in improving my writing, improving my books. So when it does get out, a lot of people would like it and enjoy it. So yeah, that's my mindset. So if you don't get chosen, that's okay. If you get rejected, that's okay. There's always a next time. There's always a next step until we get what we want. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Duda. Okay, next question. How does it feel when people tell you you've changed their lives or inspired you? Like, how does it feel to know people look up to you in general, like asking you for advice on your blog and asking you to do a conference at your old school and those kinds of things? Is it a lot of pressure or does gratefulness outweigh the pressure? This is the next questions that I'll be reading from this one up to the maybe 3 more questions will be from Emma. Emma, yeah, Emma is one of my loyal readers as well, and also one of my good friends. She has been creating really nice covers for my really nice artworks and fanfic covers for my stories, which are really fantastic. You can really I can really see how she has improved with her Photoshop skills. So thank you, Am, for creating all those beautiful covers. They make my story even more nice when I post it up. So yeah, thank you. And to all the other readers, if you're good at Photoshop or good at drawing or something, I always accept fan arts so that I can put it up on the blog and people can see a lot of your artworks. It's good advertising, I guess, since there are quite a lot of people who visit my blog. So yeah, so just PM me, message me, email me your artworks or cover arts if you have any for my fanfics. Yeah. How do I feel? Of course I feel really grateful. Yeah, there's pressure there. Like people think that I'm not the best at giving advice, but I try my best. I'm not even sure if I'm good at giving advice. There's some people say I am, but yeah, I try my best to give the best advice that I can. Yeah, the conference at my old school, I did a writing talk at my old high school, which I was very honored to be invited as their author speaker and to be able to um, talk to some ninth graders about writing and how I got started. It was it was a big honor. Yeah. So I think the pressure, yeah, the gratefulness outweighs the pressure for me. Yeah, there's still the pressure there. I still feel nervous whenever I'm asked to speak. Even in this video, I'm still a bit nervous to answer your questions. I don't want to say anything stupid. Uh, yeah. So yeah, it really makes me happy whenever people come to me and say that I've inspired them to start writing or to start their own blog. It's like fulfilling a purpose. I feel like I'm fulfilling a purpose. So yeah, thank you so much for trusting my stories, trusting me, and letting me be part of your lives, even if it's just through writing or like my stories. So yeah, I'm very grateful for your trust, for trusting me to answer or to give you advice and all that. So yeah. Another question from M. How do you stay concentrated on what you write? I leave a lot of my drafts unfinished because I'm not able to connect two ends of my story. I mean, I usually come back to them, but I think it'll be better to finish works in one go. That way I'd post more stories. I know you've talked about making outlines for your stories, but I'm better at writing how I feel it, if you know what I mean. What to do? Yes, outlines are always the best way for you to be able to start something and finish it in one go. But I don't want to be a hypocrite because I also leave a lot of things unfinished. I have a lot of pending fix because sometimes I get so inspired with an idea and I just have to write it down. So how do I stay concentrated? Well, you really have to discipline yourself to start to finish what you've started. So yeah, that's probably the best advice I can give you is to stay disciplined. Keep yourself disciplined. If you've started something, go finish it. I know that you're better at writing how you feel it, but you have to discipline yourself to write something with a deadline. Yeah, maybe set deadlines for yourself. That's a good practice. Set deadlines for yourself. Like for me, if I'm writing a two-part story, I will not I will not prolong it to 2 weeks. 2 weeks max only. So if, for example, if I posted one part Sunday, the next part has to be posted by the following Sunday or the following Sunday after that. Not any longer. So though there are times that it becomes longer. So yeah, it's very hard when you not make an outline. Yeah. So yeah, my best advice is to give deadlines to yourself, discipline yourself, and to make outlines. You really have to make outlines, so that your ideas won't get jumbled up and that you will stay on track on your writing. Yeah, because I know how readers can get impatient. I'm a reader as well. I read fanfics too. I get impatient when the author doesn't post takes a long time to post another update. Though I never complain. I never bug them about it. It's just that have it makes me really impatient. It makes me lose lose interest in continuing to read it. So sometimes I don't really read unfinished fics. I only read finished ones. So for those who are reading my fics, my unfinished stories, thank you, because I know how hard that can be to start reading something and then hope for a next update in the coming days. Because sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes the fic gets discontinued. Ultimately, so yeah. Next, how do I get more people to read my stories? I enjoy writing, but I feel as no one seems to be reading them, that I'm writing for nothing. Oh, you're not writing for nothing. You're writing for yourself, right? In the beginning, you have to write for yourself. You have to make sure that you're happy about what you're writing about. It's something that you want to read. Yeah, for those who are starting to write, you have to make sure that what you're writing is something you want to read so that you can put your heart and soul into it. Yeah. So, how do I get more people to read my stories? There's always the tags. Tags are very helpful, both in Tumblr and AFF. In Wattpad also, there are tags on Wattpad. And if you have social media, you can post a link to your story there, post it everywhere. If you have friends, spread the word. That's probably the best way to get more people to read your stories. Yeah, if you're just beginning, if you're beginning a blog, it's going to feel like you haven't, people are not reading your works. Because I started there, I had about like 10 followers and like 10 notes for my stories. Um, well, it's going to get better in the end. Like when you keep on writing and posting, I think the best strategy is to post a lot of stories. Because before, when I started the blog, I posted at least a story every 2 days. Every 2 days. Sometimes I did it every day. So yeah, like even if it's just a reaction, yeah, it's always good to have something going on in your blog so that people will be interested. For example, if I found a really interesting blog, I would tell it to one of my friends who actually reads stories as fics as well, and yeah, um, that's probably the best way. Tag your stuff, important. Tag your stuff, and advertise it on social media and to your friends. Yep. Okay, next is you've covered a fair share of songs and your voice is beautiful. Thank you. What advice do you have to give people who aren't all that confident about posting a first cover or a snippet of a cover online? Well, um, you always have to be confident in your talents, right? So just post it up. Yeah. You don't have to care about what people think. You only have to care about what you think. If you think you sang it well, then you should definitely post it up. I've been singing since I was 3. I love singing as much as I love writing. I actually wanted to be a Broadway singer when I grew up. But then the writing thing came up and I suddenly wanted to be a writer instead. But yeah, I still sing. I still do a lot of covers and I still perform outside, like those little gigs if I get them. Yeah, so if you love something, just do it. Go for it. If you love to sing, make covers, post it up. If you love writing, write something, write a story, make a blog, post it up. Um, yeah, it's all about doing something because you love doing it, not because you're doing it because you want people to love it or you want to get noticed. Sure, there's a part of you that wants to be acknowledged for your talent or what you're doing, but what's important is that you're doing what you love. You enjoy doing it. So yeah, that's the most important thing. Okay, oh, sorry. This is the second to the last question for M. I've written maybe 2 short collaborations with you, and I know how busy you are with everything you have to do, but have you ever thought of doing more collaborations? Yes, of course. It's just that I have a lot of pending fics right now, so I'll probably get back to you on the collaborations. Okay, and then what are your future writing plans? Your fans are asking for sequels to a few stories, and you still have a few big scale series you haven't finished yet. So, how do you plan on tackling all of those? So, future writing plans is, as I've mentioned, there was the After All novel version, there's the next book in the Dark and Wild series, there's the Ice Dancing and Made in the AM fix that I have to finish. Yeah, there's a lot. So yeah, that's probably my projects for this year. And then on top of that, I post one shots requested by you guys. So let's hope that I do get to finish them this year or until early 2018. Wow, it's 2018 already. Yeah. So yeah, those are my future writing plans. I actually have a lot of other ideas that I wanted to write, but for now, let's stick with those. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, we've already, is that 30 minutes? Oh wow, we've already been here 30 minutes. Are you still there? Are you still awake? Do you want me to cut to an intermission? Because I have one. I so I'm in Disneyland, right? So I bought a doll and it's Judy and Nick. I'm so happy. Yeah, I love these two characters. If you haven't watched Zootopia yet, you better watch it because it's a fantastic movie. It has a really nice plot line. It has a lot of symbolisms as well. Yeah, my favorite Pixar movie was Cars. But when I watched Zootopia, it became my favorite Pixar movie because everything about it is so great. It actually, I was so happy when it won best film, best animated film in the Oscars. Yeah. So I love Judy and I love Nick. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. They're so cute. When I saw them at the store, I just grabbed them and said, I have to buy this. I actually saw them at the parade. I wanted to take a picture, but of course you can't take pictures while they're at the parade. But I was waiting for them to come out, because, in the park, some characters come out and then you get to take pictures with them. I was able to get a picture with Eeyore, who's one of my other favorite Disney characters. So there's Mickey Mouse, Eeyore, and these two. Yeah, but they didn't come out. I was very sad. I was in Shanghai in December, and Judy came out, but I wasn't able to take a picture because when I was about to line up, they had to end the queue because she had to go. So maybe next time when I come back, hopefully they do come out because I really love this movie, Zootopia. So if you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. All right, next is, where do you get your inspiration? This is actually asked by 3 people. So yeah, a lot of people are asking where I get my inspiration. From everywhere. I can't give you a specific thing because if it's inspiration, it just comes to you, right? Sometimes I would listen to a song. My recent fic, Take You Home, was inspired by Baekhyun's song, Take You Home. So yeah, so it could come from a song. It could even come from a movie. For example, if there was a scene there that I really thought was eye-catching, I would turn it into a fic. I would turn it into a story. Also, it could come from an artwork I've seen or a place that I've been to. Words, Fate, and Accidents, one of my earlier Taeyong fanfics, was inspired from my trip to Paris. So it could really come from everything. It could come from your family. Sometimes my parents or my sister or my brother would say something funny or say something deep. So yeah, it could come from everyday things. Yeah. There was one time that I was inspired just by watching the sunset or the sunrise. I think you know which fic this is. Yeah, I'll leave you to that on what scene I was able to write or was inspired by the sunrise or the sunset. Yes. So someone also asked about the unpublished stories. Recently, I have unpublished a few fanfics. So there's Loss of Motion and Attraction. There's On Shallow Tides, which is the Jungkook mermaid AU. There's Chasing Sunsets and The Girl Who Cried Flood, which are both from my Alchemy of Fairy Tales. series, and there's The Little Soldier, which is a Yoongi fic, and Sodad. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I think it's Sodad. Yeah, which is the spring day story for Jungkook. The reason I unpublish these stories, or whenever I unpublish stories, it means that it's under editing, or I'm planning on having it published. For the short stories, I'm making this short story collection, so I'm trying it out. I actually had that proofread already. If Nicole is watching, yeah, she was the one who proofread my stories. Nicole, thank you again. I had a lot of fun meeting you, our little talk at Starbucks, and talking about my stories and all. I really had fun. So hopefully we can work on another project together. So yeah. Yeah, so the reason for unpublishing stories is that I wanted to edit it again. So I've actually added a lot of stuff into it, and edited some grammar and spelling, the technicalities of the stories. So yeah. Okay, next question. What is your purpose for writing? What do you mean to achieve through the journey of writing? Wow, that is a good question. What is my purpose for writing? Well, first of all, I really enjoy doing it. I'm passionate about it. When I started the blog and it started to get more attention and people are starting to reading it, my purpose became, to make people happy with my stories. I love it when I inspire people to do their own writing, or even if it's not writing, to inspire them to do what they're passionate about is a dream of mine, to be able to inspire people to do what they love, to be able to give entertainment or healing to them through my words, through my stories. Yeah, so that's basically what I want to achieve, is to bring happiness into this world, even if it's just through my writing, through my own way. Yes. What inspired you to start writing? I started when I was 14. I had to write a short story for my English class. The story is on Wattpad. Actually, it was still there. It's still there right now. It's called A Friendship to Last. So it was a really short story about this prince who went out of the palace walls to spend a day as a commoner. It was a very simple story. It's a very used up trope, like the Princess and the Pauper or something like that. The Prince and the Pauper, I mean. Yeah. So what inspired me was that when I started, also what inspired me to write is all the books that I've written. I was really impressed with all the stories that I've written when I started becoming obsessed with books. Hold on, there's a knock on the door, so I'm going to end it here. Okay, part 2.